Hey Matt, so what are we shooting today?
So I have the Canon EOS-R in, thanks to B&H Photo. They sent it to me to test out. I was hoping to get the whole kit of lenses from Canon to do a full field tested review, but they can't get it to me. So I'm returning this tomorrow. We have 1 day to shoot with it and the 24-105 lens. I have no other Canon lenses to test, but I wanted to do something that would bring value to you guys on YouTube. So I threw out on social media asking what you wanted me to test. And it was autofocus, low light capabilities in terms of lag and autofocus and ISO performance, as well as video, and of course the image quality. So to test all of that out, I'm bringing back in Joanna. You remember we had her in last week. We had a great response. So she's bringing in a whole shed load of clothes for us to shoot through, and we'll test out each of those things and give everyone some files to download. So she should be here in like 10 minutes, so let's pack. Open it up, show us what you got. Let's choose some outfits.
See my socks? I just don't see any point.
So we'll wear one each of those shoes. What's the point in matching them?
I'm not listening to you on purpose, I think.
Day 2 and she's already ignoring you. She's a fast learner, this one. Okay, ta-da! So, what are we gonna wear first? You choose which outfit first, either the brown or the denim.
Let's do brown.
Let's do brown.
So what's just going to change? What's the lighting setup that we're using today?
Okay, so I think we'll do 2. I'm gonna do a continuous light setup, a flashlight setup. For the flashlight, I've got the Explore TTL, no cables, anything like that. And I'm thinking I'll just mainly use this Westcott Rapid softbox. So I've got that and a strip box that I'll probably use mostly. And then just a speed light as a second light for hair light, backlight, whatever. And then for continuous, I'm gonna use this Luxley Cello. It gives you all these crazy colors, everything you could possibly think of for a backlight. And then I'm actually going to use the Aperture 120D as a spotlight for some shots to get stark black and whites with like a real spotlight look to them. Let's set it up.
So Matt, could you explain more about why you're using the pocket wizards?
So I am just used to them. This does have TTL, but you probably saw last time I was using Pocket Wizards as well. I only have a Nikon trigger for it. Even so, we're shooting Canon today, I need a trigger to set this guy off. I just prefer shooting in manual anyway rather than the TTL, and I find these are more reliable than the TTL system, although I haven't really had a problem. It's how I shoot. This was her favored side of her face, so I'm gonna run with it and use it on this side again. Put up the brown backdrop today, just over the top of my green one for something different. This side has a nice modeled background. Joanna sent through a bunch of different outfit options that she had in mind, and I think this will work well for us, but if we want to take it back, we just drop this one down and we're back to the green anyway.
What's up? What's wrong?
There's always so many things to learn when you're testing a camera. One of the difficult things to do a series like Field Tested is you have to spend the time to really get to know the new gear to be able to properly appraise it. So doing a 1 day shoot like this, I just have to acknowledge this is my first time shooting it. I've just set it up. I'm working through the settings myself. It's a new system, and I'm just have to figure out how to make the flash actually talk. It's kind of important. Haha. Still didn't go off. Or did it go off? It did. Hallelujah. I don't know what it is about this viewfinder. I don't see the flash go off. What's up? You can't keep up? What's up? What's up? I'm not even looking. I pretty much know the lighting setup I want. It's just going to be a simple separation light in the background, and then a softened beauty dish, the pop-up one, to light the front of her, sitting on the stool. So I'm just getting it in place, but I won't power it up until she's in. Now these are literally going to be the first shots that I take with this camera, so it'll be interesting to see how they turn out. Oh, hey.
Hi.
Okay, so let's see. I always like the first shot to be something nice. Just look right there. Well, that is actually a funny first ever shot to take. So there you're looking like all innocent, like you weren't just saying all that smash mouth before. But, so something to keep in mind, without dissing the camera because I haven't used it, but You must have seen the press about single card slot, no in-body stabilization, the crop in 4K video, ... It has a lot of people disappointed. Yes, thank you very much. And the Nikon had several of those issues as well, but it has a stabilization and no crop. But this is significantly cheaper, so you can imagine it's not going to be their top of the line. But I'm just so used to my Nikon cameras all syncing at a 2/50th of a second. I just took a shot here at 1/200th, because that's normally what the Canons are, and I actually got a band across the background because the flash hadn't synced in time. So either it's actually 1/180th, or the micro delay on the Pocket Wizards meant that it couldn't get it. So dropping down to 1/160th, significantly slower than I would use on my Nikons. Then we get the properly exposed shot. Actually, no, I'm still getting a slight band there. Well, let's try 1/125th. This is at 1/200th, and you can see that line. She's lit by the big studio light, but the backlight only half did its job. Here we are at 1/160th, and you can see it still didn't quite get it. Up here in the background, we have the black line coming through. Jumping out, and then at 1/125th, which is really kind of slow, we got the whole thing in. So have to keep that in mind. That means I have half the ability to control the ambient as I do with my equivalent Nikon. In the studio, I'm not shooting too often below f4 anyway. How are we looking? Shift your weight to put the front shoulder up and the back shoulder down. That's nice. Okay, so it's not super low light, but a low-end camera could struggle to focus, and I would say it's really snappy. It's up there, I'd say anecdotally, faster than the Z7 was with its native lens, and this is an f4 compared to, oh no, they're both f4. And let the back shoulder down slightly. Back. Again.
What are you doing, Matt?
Shut up. Hey, don't be like that. So if I had a boom, I would put this straight over the top of her. I want a, beauty dish, nice, hard, crisp light, lose the diffuser. But because she has this side of her face exposed and the other side covered by hair, I think coming down on this angle will work nicely, and it's easy for me to get out of the frame. Nice, hold that. Stylish Ravier in the house. Yes, pretty, thank you. Okay. How are we looking? Okay, I want to get a little bit more light in the background. I'm actually going to stop this down by a stop. How are we now? Oh, I like that a lot. I wish I was being paid to say this. These rapid boxes are the best. I've used so many that just take forever to set up. You've got to put all the arms in, or like I have in the other room, just leave them set up, and then they're huge. These are basically, if you look in there, a reverse umbrella. You just pop it down, and that's it. It's up, and they have octaboxes in all shapes. So I'm going to use this as a strip box instead to get more of her outfit instead of just the beauty dish getting just her face.
So I know that you use the beauty dish for your face, but this one, what's this one for specifically?
Hold. So it's not that the beauty dish has to be for your face, it's just, where'd I put it? It's smaller, and the point of any softbox, have you shot with photographers who use an umbrella? So umbrella throws light everywhere, makes it nice and big and soft, but light goes everywhere. Having the sides on this means you get a round beam of light, or in this case, a big square rectangle of light. So this is great for catching, this much, but if I want it to get your body, then I have to make a circle that big. So it's gonna go everywhere. So this is roughly the shape of your body, so I can get head to foot when you're sitting with one this size. If we wanted to get you standing, then we need a bigger soft box, or you put it in the middle of the person so it spreads out to get them. But this should work for this outfit. I just want some options. If you get the same thing again and again and again and again, it gets boring, to be honest. She's got such beautiful shiny hair. I noticed it in the other shots we did with the blue background in the last video. It really shines beautifully once you put a flash on it. So I thought we'll give her a little edge light down her body, a bit of a hair light, and it should look nice. So I'll actually flip my flash sideways, same principle as the softbox, make the light the shape that I want.
I watch a lot of beauty YouTube videos.
Who's your favorite beauty YouTuber?
Desi Perkins. I'm not being paid for this, but I love you.
Hi, Desi Perkins. I was really hoping you'd say Tina Young.
No, I haven't checked her out.
Damn. The audience is going to turn on you now.
I'm gonna check. I'm sorry.
That's a great way to see where your light is and isn't falling, is to get a shot of it directly with the modifier in the shot. So same with this front one. This will show us on both sides. Shows us where she's getting lit on the front side and the back side. So she is in shadow there. Yeah, that works. So it is shadowed there, but that's what we want. So let's do the jeans outfit next, and then we're gonna change to a spotlight. Ooh, too much. Okay, so she's just getting changed. I actually changed my mind. Strip box, nice. But the next shot is going to be two different looks that are going to be showing a little bit more skin, and I don't want such hard light and shadow. So I'm going to actually switch back to the giant XXXXXXL octa and use that as our main light, and then we'll switch to the continuous after that and get some spotlighty shots. Okay, it's not me. Every time I come back to shoot, it doesn't focus. So from now on, every time that happens, I'm gonna note it, because I'm not changing settings, it just stops focusing.
When someone yawns, you don't yawn, and you're directly looking at them, then that means you're sick.
Zero empathy. As we take a look through some of those shots, you'll see some of them have a different treatment. Like this one, I used one of the style packs. Here was one of my own black and white edits. This was another one of the style edits, but I just tweaked it and they come up really nicely. I really love the way this software processes the images, even ones like that, especially as it relates to color. Now here's an earlier one. Something I really love about using these gravity backdrops is how different you can make them, how it is blurred out, how it is once you've got it in sharper focus, with just a neutral light on it, with a warmed light on it, or with some color in there. I mean, that's all coming off my brown model backdrop, and you just get so many different looks. We're going through some sample shots. Joe chose one out and we've tried to match the jeans and stuff so that we get the jeans dark like the background, because this is going to be a black and white, and then her skin will be the lightest, especially once we put the light in. There's nothing wrong, and it's actually kind of a standard to bring along sample shots as inspiration. But you don't have to replicate them perfectly, so you might aim for it. You'll never replicate the shot perfectly anyway.
Arms look fat, like should I not put too much pressure?
No, if you don't mind me actually answering that directly, that's a great question. Anyone, whether you're doing topless, man, woman, athlete, normal person, as soon as you put the arm down, it does flatten out and it looks chubby. Same, like you shoot a gymnast sitting flat and the butt goes flat and kind of pops out. So basically just making contact and then either pulling it back a little bit, but you don't want to be pushing down like that. It's gonna look very flattering like that. So no, I'll keep an eye on that, and if I notice it, I'll let you know, but right now you don't. Hey folks, if you're interested in learning how to take your own beautiful nude and implied photos, jump on over to mattgranger.com/intimate and you can join me on 7 real life photo shoots to learn all there is to start making beautiful images. And if what you need is posing advice, check out my Intimate Portraiture Posing Guide. It's a video and PDF showing you a bunch of different poses and lighting setups to get started. I'm going really simple on this. So big light equals soft light, small light equals hard light. Doesn't matter if you're using thousands of dollars worth of equipment or a $50 flash. Big is soft, small is hard. So I've got this giant light on that side of her, and then the spill is also going to be lighting the background, but it'll be less exposure so she still pops. Then I've got a hard light that's going to come in to lift up her back. So it's a nice small light, but it's going to give a bit more edge definition there. But I want that exposure lower than that side. So it's just going to take a little bit of finagling to make sure I'm getting it. So easy way, instead of setting it all up, and I'm not a light meter guy, is to take a test shot on the back. Okay. I didn't do anything. It's still on autofocus. I haven't changed the setting. Now it is again. You hear that? Now it is again, but it just stopped autofocusing for some time. I think that's actually the key to any kind of intimate portraiture, is to make it, if you're not sure how it's gonna convey to the audience, because you never do, what your intention was may not make it to them, have the model look like they're in control. Eye contact, strong poses, rather than looking, I'm not a fan of that, you know, soft and wimpy, just kind of an innocent, vulnerable little flower type look. It doesn't translate well, and it can make it look kind of objectifying. If someone's like in the spot, like aggressive in their poses, strong eye contact, obviously kind of in control of what's going on, I think it makes for a better shot. I'm gonna turn the power down, don't worry. But let's just do some low light autofocus. I'm just switching into aperture priority, seeing we're using no lights here. At f4, at a 60th of a second in this room, I'm shooting at ISO 8000, and that expression, she's obviously quite shocked at the ISO 8000. But I have to say, so this would be, I would say, as dark as any indoor venue that you'd be shooting, or brighter than even at a wedding, because you would have all the lights on. So there is a bit of ambient light coming in here, but as I say, f4, 1/50th of a second, ISO 8000 to get these shots. I will give you guys these shots so you can see how the ISO is doing. Actually, I'll go back to manual so I can control both of that, but I'll leave the auto ISO on. So I'm gonna do f8, 1/125th. Wait, I don't have any invitation to go anywhere or do anything, so I guess I won't be wearing that. If anyone's watching, I'd really like an invite to a Halloween party. You know, black clothes that are kind of, it's not sheer now, but if it's stretchy, under hard light, it can go see-through. So if you're not wearing, that's why often when you see it like a red carpet, the celebrity's black dress and suddenly you see their boobs, they didn't know that was gonna happen. It's the flash. The light goes through the weave of the fabric, and then if it gets bright enough, the skin reflects light back and you see it through the clothing. Feathering this light all the way across, so it's actually, we're only using 20% of it. That little bit of the light is lighting her. This is going nowhere. I just don't want it to wash this out in the background. I'm mixing ambient and flash. So if I want to bring up the intensity of that backlight, that's ambient. If I reduce the ambient in the room, you'll see it on camera. Suddenly that in the background looks a lot stronger. So then if I just get a wide shot here, you don't need to pose too much. So this is lighting the front of her. Now, if I want to brighten up the background light, I can slow my shutter speed down. This will be twice as bright in the background. but then she is pretty much the same. And if I want to darken the background, I can just speed my shutter speed up to the limit of this camera and brighten the background up. So this was balanced, this was brightening it, and that's darkening it. She pretty much stays the same, but the background light is changing. As JPEGs, straight as they come out of the camera with no adjustments, I've set this to picture profile that they call faithful. And this, I think, is the reason why so many people love Canon and why I think, despite its flaws, this will actually sell like crazy. Whilst a lot of Canon shooters have gone over to Sony, no doubt about that, there's a whole lot of other Canon shooters who are just waiting for a great Canon mirrorless system to come out that they can move to. And one of the big reasons, whether it's true, whether it's in their head, whatever, is the Canon color. And take a look at this, straight out of camera as the JPEG's looking, just out of camera is beautiful. Let's throw it on screen with the straight out of camera shot. I'm just gonna cool that background light down a little bit more. Like I said, this, what do they call it? Luxley Cello. You can just do any color. So tell me when to stop. When do you think it's a cute color?
I like that one. The more bright, yeah.
That is minus green, 1/8 minus green 7. That's what that color's called. Just jumping into Capture One Pro here to take a look at some of the shots and to check out the sharpness. Of course, this is under studio light, so you're going to expect a fair bit. At f10, 105mm. Yeah, we're realizing loads and loads of detail here. Let's go down a little. These are some of the edited ones, so it's a little harder to tell. But something interesting, we're going to look at high ISO. So this was at ISO 8000. Oof. ISO 12,800. I mean, wide maybe, but you can see the color's already gone to mush. Here we are down at 4,000. Still mush. And just look at the difference in color dropping back to 640. Huge difference in the color that we're getting off the sensor. Yeah, I would much rather be down at those levels if I can. But still, with the right lighting and a decent ISO, some really, really lovely images coming up here. If you want to check out Capture One Pro for yourself, head to the link on screen and in the description below. Use the code MATTG and you can get 10% off. So I just did a couple of bursts of shooting there, and it really seemed like the buffer filled up a lot faster when I was at a high ISO, like it's slowing down to do the processing. Could be anecdotal, but it seemed like I fired off a much longer burst of shots here when I was down at ISO 1000 as composed to 6400 or whatever before it slowed down at all. And the focus is still a bit hit and miss, but it seems closer. But still, if that's meant to be face detect, I mean, I know she was dancing, but it's not exactly the 100-meter final. I would have thought it would keep up better than that. You dance fast, girl. I'm not, no shade. Yeah, that fast? That fast. You're just a blur in the distance. So in stills, it disabled this screen and only gave me this one. In video, it's keeping this screen on and giving me that one, which is the opposite of what often happens. You find that it will disable this one and only give you the one out. That's interesting. I don't know that I can say much more about it than that, but it is interesting. So let's just make sure it is trying to track her face in this 4K video. So it's on servo AF. Let's record here. So the video autofocus seems, to be honest, really nice. Let's go to F4 and really give it the biggest challenge we can. I regret that, cut that out. Seems to be doing a pretty good job. Keep coming closer. Once it can't see a full face, oh, there it kind of has come back, and back, out, and now got the face again. Come closer again. Okay, it's not terrible, but it's not like Sony Eye, that's for sure. And back. So I know this is a cheap shot, but everyone knows it has a big crop from stills to video. So here we are in a working studio that's 24mm, and we're getting hip to just above her head with the big crop factor this has in 4K video. So if I stop recording in video, change it over to stills, just look how much wider the frame gets here. That's insane. So that is our frame at 24mm in stills, and you notice it turns the screen off in this mode. Then going into video mode, that's our frame now. That's huge. If you're a long way away and you want the extra reach, winner winner chicken dinner, you've got it. If you're in a tight space and you don't want to be using wide lenses because of distortion, you're SOL, because you have a 1/8 crop or whatever it is exactly. Beautiful. So she went from like to realizing she's on camera. She's like, I'm just like posing. I woke up like this. Again, video crop, stills crop. Redonkulous.
So Matt, is there anything else that you need to do today?
What did we get? We got autofocus, low light autofocus, video crop, and video autofocus, right? Was there anything else they wanted?
No, I think that's it. So what do you want to say as a wrap up?
Okay, well, firstly, thank you, Joanna, for another great shoot. Thank you guys for all your feedback and encouraging us to get her back. She's really fun to shoot with, so thank you for that.
I have a lot of fun to shoot with you and for you guys.
Okay, wrap up. To be honest, the ergonomics are great. I am not a Canon expert. I have to acknowledge that. Finding my way through the menus, I got there, I tried the different focus modes, I optimized things to get what I thought was the best results. It's possible that it could be done better because I'm not an expert. So when I, for example, tested the Nikon Z, yes, there was a learning curve, but it was after a decade with Nikon. This is all quite new for me. But the ergonomics are fantastic. I would say better than the Nikon Z. And again, let me just show it. We put this as a pop-up in the Nikon Z video about the X1D, and it probably seemed like a little throwaway. But that, to me, I don't know what you think, Joe, I don't think we've ever shown you this camera. To me, it looks like a piece of modern art, like it's just been designed to be cute. But it's so comfortable in the hands, and if you're a simple shooter like me, the two controls you need, ISO, white balance, and auto manual focus are all right there. And I barely need to go into the menus. Feel it. The grip is, I think, really comfy for all hands. Anyway, that's a little aside. The ergonomics of this one are fantastic, way better than the Sony's, probably a hair better than the Nikon as well. The lens is definitely all plasticky, but again, it feels really nicely built. And from what I've seen so far, the image quality looks great. Autofocus is good. From this little 2-hour shoot here, I would say faster in stills for sure than the Z7. Just as inconsistent with moving subjects though in any kind of tracking. I was surprised how many of them were out. This is the stabilized option that you have essentially, because they're announcing 3 lenses. 2 of the ones that aren't out yet, which is why I'm not doing a field tested video yet, aren't stabilized. The body isn't stabilized, only this one lens is. So this is your only option to get that. Big crop in video, there's a lot of things you just have to take as read. Single card, no in-body stabilization, big 4K crop. If you can live with all of them, but you want the best of what Sony has otherwise, you want the tilty flippy screen, the video out, all of that good stuff, then I think it's a really good camera and much better price than the Nikon, but it is not the same kind of level of sensor. So that's a really top line. Thank you to everyone on Facebook who chimed in with what you'd like me to test on this one. If down the road I can actually get a loaner from Canon, probably 6 months after everyone else has finished their reviews. Then I'll do a proper one for you. Thanks to B&H for sending this out so I could do a little something before I hit the road again, heading to Japan like this weekend. That'll do it. I'll see you soon. Thanks again. Bye, Joe.
What is this?
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, I've never seen.
This is it's written on it. Hasselblad X1D.
Is it more?
Handmade in Sweden, darling. Better image quality, slower, different kind of shooting. We'll shoot with it sometime.
Okay.
Be careful with it, it's my baby. Who runs the world? Anyone? No one? Oh, I heard that the new Bohemian Rhapsody, you're a beauty blogger, a beauty person, and a vlogger, and you don't know Tina Young. I'm disgusted. About 10 other ways to use eyeshadow. Wow, oh my goodness.
Or if you want
Subscribe to Tina.
product, use coconut.
Oh, wait, what's yours?
Mix it together with the pigment until smooth, and now you're ready to
So
apply
it's Johanna, not Joanna.
As you can see, it's much more pigmented than the
Ah,
eyeshadow.
you come right up. Are you the only Joanna Martinez?
Oh, stop it! I hate watching my own stuff with people.
Really?
Yeah, I hate my voice. Okay, can we not?
As you
Oh, my first video is way worse than yours. The formulate.
It's also got some memory card holders, and they take 2.
Yeah, so I win. Mine's worse.
should be acting and
You know that you put this here for people to watch, right? Okay, do me a favor, guys. Do me a favor, please. Nobody go to Joanna Martinez's channel. No one go to the Oh It's Joe. Oh, it's Joe. If you hit me, it's on. The Oh It's Joe Instagram. Please, nobody go there. Nobody like it. Nobody comment. She wants to be in the shadows. Okay.